Russia says Washington has asked Moscow not to attack Nusra Front militants in Syria. According to Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov, Washington fears that attacking the al-Qaeda-linked group might endanger what it calls moderate rebels. Lavrov said that fighting Nusra and Daesh should be a top priority in Syria. The two groups are excluded from a ceasefire deal reached between Russia and the U.S. in late February. Washington and its allies have been conducting military operations against Daesh in Syria since 2014. The campaign has, however, failed to dislodge the terrorist group. In September 2015, Russia launched an air campaign against Daesh and other terrorist groups in Syria upon a request by the government in Damascus. Joining us to talk about this story is Mike Harris, editor, Veterans Today.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Harris. Now, in your opinion, why is the U.S. so keen to continue its support for groups like Nusra Front, despite their clear record of terrorist activities?
Before I speak, let me state that I am a loyal American. I was born in this country. My family has lived in this country for 12 generations. I am American to the core. But I have to call bullshit on my government right now. This fake war on terror is just that. It is a fake war on terror. This is a creation of military and intelligence agencies, is the whole impetus behind al-Qaeda and behind ISIS, behind Daesh. It is time to quit lying to the American people. It is time to quit lying to the people of the world. There are no terrorists that are not funded and promoted by intelligence agencies, including the U.S. CIA and the U.S. military itself. It's time to stop the nonsense. If we want to stop terrorism, let's cooperate fully with the Russians and let's eradicate this vermin anywhere they may be found in the world. But it's time to stop the lies. It truly is. This is a sad day that the U.S. government will come out and say, no, protect these terrorists because they're special. They're not special. Terrorists are terrorists. If we want to eliminate them, let's take the gloves off. Let's go after them. The Russians are correct. The Syrian government is acting legitimately, and it is time to stop lying to the people of the world.
And Mr. Harris, what do you think the Russian response is going to be?
I think the Russians should say, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. We're going to eliminate terrorism wherever we find it, which is what the U.S. position should be. You see, it all goes back to 9/11, which is a fraud. It was a fake. It was a hoax. The U.S. government's involved in it. The Saudis were involved in it. We have those missing 28 pages. Israel was involved in it. It's time to start telling the truth and bringing these things to bear. The Russians have got it right. You know, they really do. Bashar al-Assad is a duly elected president of his country. His people love him. I've been to Syria twice in the past 18 months. You know, he is revered among his people. This is an attempt by a foreign intelligence agencies to topple the Assad government. That's all it is. Let's start telling the truth. And let's end this war on terror because it is a fraud, it is a fake. It's time to call the U.S. government out and say, look, guys, stop lying to us. We know better now.
Very briefly, Mr. Harris, in your opinion, what are the American priorities at the moment in Syria and remaining in Syria on the ground, if not fighting the terrorists?
Well, the American priorities are to topple the Assad government. That's what it's been. That's what it's been since day one. The truth is coming out. You look at that poor excuse for a man, David Petraeus, came out and said that we were going to have these things happen if we withdrew from Iraq. You know, what the U.S. has done in the Middle East to Iraq to Syria, it is crimes against humanity. The perpetrators need to be prosecuted. It's time for the U.S. to clean up its act. It's time to stop lying to the people of the world about the war on terror. There's innocent Muslims by the millions who have been wounded, injured, killed. And it's time for the U.S., the people of the U.S., to bring our government and hold them responsible for the crimes they've committed against these people.
Okay. Appreciate your comments, sir. Mike Harris, editor of Veterans Today.